lot of time left, but we need to check in with our sister because there's so much going on in the world. Lauren Victoria Burke of Black Virginia News and the NNPA. She's got that Virginia Tech hat on. We'll excuse that. Uh, Lauren, you all and Lauren, please let people know how they can find you and how to subscribe. Lauren has one of the best publications out here, um, and there's the coverage. There's not enough coverage in Virginia. I love what's the sister's name? Who's in the state? Who's a state senator who curses everybody? Louise Lucas.
Louise Lucas.
She,
Senator Louise Lucas. Yes. Yes.
y'all need to check her out. She is hilarious.
Yep. Just writing about her because she basically used Trump tactics, and they're
Right.
using Trump politics in Virginia, and Republicans suddenly don't like Trump politics. Isn't that amazing?
That's interesting. And so is this Obama ape post? Is that a game changer? I mean, is that for some? I mean, it seems like folks are like, you know what, can't do this anymore.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think there's certainly the country club Republicans out there who've always hated the racism part of this. That's why you're seeing a lot of never Trumpers that immediately abandon ship, largely because of that whole look. You look like a white supremacist and a Klansman. I'm out. They may agree with the policies, but they didn't want to be, connected to that, at least not overtly. And of course, the problem with Donald Trump is that his racism is right up front. He wants you to know about it. He wants to brand to racism. He wants to brand to racial grievance. And he ain't trying to hide that. Never has in his entire life.
Yeah. And but it seems particularly now,
Mm-hmm.
it's always been that way.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems now he's also trying to create as much distraction from Epstein.
Absolutely. And that Epstein, boy, you talk about the gift that keeps on giving. That thing is endless. Names keep dropping, information keeps coming out. They don't want to have anything to do with that. They have two members of Congress that, with their hands at the steering wheel, driving that train, and the train never stops. So yeah, he's trying to distract from the fact that they're trying to cover up the actions of a pedophile. I mean, that's just what it is. His name is in there. They spent all that time redacting it at a warehouse in Virginia, by the way. And they didn't redact apparently everything. And now they've got a problem. They're calling the Clintons in the members of the House are calling the Clintons in for a deposition. That's going to blow up in their faces. I mean, the whole thing is just going to blow up in their faces. And that's what you're watching right now.
Because if the Clintons go in by right, they can have discovery go down.
Mm-hmm.
And the Clintons are like, they answer, oh yeah, we coming. And to me, that's a tip off. Maybe I don't want them to come if they so willing to come.
Yeah, well, what they're trying to do is do it in closed doors. So if you do it in closed doors, you can leak what you want to leak. You saw Bill Clinton made a statement the other day. I want this stuff to come out. I want this to be a public hearing. Y'all want this to be a spectacle? Let's have a spectacle. Last time when they did it, and it was Trey Gowdy over Benghazi and Hillary Clinton, it blew up in their faces, and this will blow up in their face. They're never governing. The modern Republican Party, which is gone. I mean, the old Republican Party is gone. Now we have the MAGA Republic. They're never in governance mode. They're always in grievance mode. They're always in let's see who we can hate mode. Let's see who we can piss off. Let's see what money we can steal and what contract we can write to get billions of dollars in our bank account. It's a mafiosa production. It has nothing to do with governance.
So here's a question I have for you, and I'm just trying to figure this out myself, because there's the pedophilia, then there's the influence that Epstein and his wife had, and if they had their hands in everybody's stuff, they were consulting with everybody on their businesses, their foundations, and their setups. So my question is, why was this dude so highly influential? What was he really selling to people? And the fact that, I mean, he touches everybody except us. I mean, there's nobody we know, but he touches everybody, which to me, Lauren, lends to the theory that he was some country's intelligence agent. I mean, you can't even get close to the people he got close to in the way he was in everybody's scenario.
I don't think it's anything more complicated than he has a lot of money. He had a ton of money. People are, particularly people in politics, are attracted to people who can throw big parties at big houses. He had basically a building in Manhattan. I don't know that you can say that was a house. The thing looks like a building in Upper Manhattan. And I think that these people were attracted to that. And then you own an island and you're inviting people to parties. Like, I just think that on its face, without getting into the rest of the criminality and obviously the pedophilia and all that stuff, I think that alone is enough to get people to return your phone calls, return your invites, your RSVPs, and show up to your events. I mean, in the political world. Now, of course, I'm sure the rumor was out there that the parties he was throwing involved sex with young girls. There's no way that they did not know, that these people did not know, particularly your frequent flyers. Come
Mhm,
on. You
mhm.
knew what was going on,
Yeah,
and that's why you have to be careful when you read these documents. I'm still a huge believer in due process, not just because I come from a law enforcement family, but because I've seen people get burned badly with lack of due process. So I do get the fact and respect the fact that there are names that are coming up of people who were not necessarily involved in criminality, may have been there for one thing and then that was it, or maybe mentioned in one email. But then you've got people clearly who were involved in this, right? And they know what was going on. You saw the Elon Musk email, when's your next wild party and I want to be there, that type of thing. It's not to say that we know and can confirm that he was involved in any criminality, but the point is, come on. But to answer your question, I think money drives a lot. As somebody who's been involved in politics, rich people get their meetings, they get their phone calls returned. I mean, it's just that's what it is.
yeah, yeah. Um, so the Obamas have not responded, correct?
I don't think they have, nor should they. I don't think they have.
You don't think so?
Look, the Republicans are playing with fire. Like, you want to bring in Barack Obama because you're so obsessed, because you're jealous, because you're insecure. President Trump with Barack Obama, which he has been for years. They are about to lose the midterm elections unless this president steals the elections or does what he did in Fulton County, has the FBI go in and raid the ballot box. Okay, unless they're planning to do something, like, they're about to lose, and lose big, and lose huge. It is all but certain that they lose the House. And now there's a discussion that is starting about the Senate, which I didn't even think about. That's 55, 54, and one independent. And now there's talk that they're going to lose the Senate. I don't know whether you saw the polls this morning, but Jasmine Crockett is polling ahead of Tallarico. All right. So, with all that progressive whining about Jasmine Crockett and her campaign is a joke and all that, I think two polls came out this morning showing her ahead.
Good. That's definitely some good news.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you're a journalist. Would love to get your thoughts about what happened with Don Lemon and Georgia Ford, and basically the overall attack on journalism.
Well, I've got my free Don Lemon shirt on. I thought today was
Ah,
his court day. I
okay.
made a free Don Lemon shirt. Black Virginia News has a store, so I was so pissed off I made a shirt. At any
Really?
rate, I think he's got a court date coming up this week. I thought it was today, but he was live on his show this morning, so maybe it's not today. At any rate, that was intimidation. I don't know whether you saw Don on Jimmy Kimmel, but he explained how that went down. He's in an elevator, and these people come up, and he didn't specifically say this, but I got the feeling they were plain clothes. So you don't even know who this is. And of course, so he turns to them and says, "Who are you? Where's
Mhm.
your warrant?" They don't have a warrant. Somebody's got to run out and get. This is all completely ridiculous, by the way. All right. You do realize, like, not having a warrant, not having ID, not showing, not identifying who you are. I am so and so. I'm here to arrest you for this. These are your rights. These are standard things that are being violated with regard to due process. This whole thing of wearing the mask, it's all ridiculous. My father was a cop in New York. He had a name tag on his chest that said R. Burke on it. His badge, his shield number was 1311. Okay. Everybody knew he was. He didn't wear a mask. None of the 40,000 cops in New York wear masks. This is all ridiculous, is what this is that you're watching.
Right. And you mentioned 40,000 cops in New York. In Minneapolis and some of these other cities, they have more ICE people there
Right.
than they actually have uh, local law enforcement,
That's
municipal
right.
law enforcement. Not to mention the fact, Customs and Border Patrol, the CBP, are
Right.
supposed to be on the border. That's why it says border.
There are
Minneapolis. I'm sorry, go ahead.
they're arguing that the border to the north is the border that they're talking about. There's some rule in the code that says that you can be within a certain uh, area of space to the border to the next neighboring country. So their argument is, oh, we're near enough to, Canada, whatever. This is all nonsense. They say whatever the heck they want to do whatever the heck they want. And I'm telling you, the pendulum always swings back in politics. And when it swings hard. We're getting the backswing from Barack Obama and their fear their black man was in charge. There's going to be a backswing to what they're doing right now. Yeah. I don't know why they don't think that.
Well, and the Barack Obama thing is one thing, but the backswing started probably at the latest with Renee Good, and continue. I mean, you're killing white folks. I mean, you just, even white folks, wait a minute, you killing white people. What is that about?
Yeah, you see, what that is.
Those were executions.
Right. And on video, by the way. I mean, it always amazes me. George Floyd, Eric Garner, they see the video right in front of them and they keep doing the same thing. That's why the body camera thing is always slightly amusing. I mean, they know the body cameras are on, not these guys, but whoever they are, by the way. See, I don't call them ICE agents. We don't know who they are. We don't know that this is sworn law enforcement. We have no ID. We have no proof of who these people are until they get to court and we see the names and then we see where they may have worked. We really don't know who they're. At any rate, this is white people getting treated like black people. And when white people get treated like black people, white people wake up. They know what that looks like. We've been talking about this for years. John Lewis, they had an argument with John Lewis at the March on Washington about the police brutality section of his speech and another section that he had to take out. Malcolm X was talking about this, right? The march across the Edmund Pettus Bridge, that started with a police brutality incident of someone getting shot, right? Jimmy Lee
Jackson.
Yeah, right. So, I mean, this police brutality thing, we in the black community have been talking about this for years, most of it off camera. Now it's on camera. When it was on camera with us, nobody cared. Now, all of a sudden, when it's white women getting shot in a car, now all of a sudden it's a thing. And this guy, Alex Purdy, getting shot 8 times in the back. You got to be kidding me. ICU nurse. And by the way, his family should be suing. They should be suing Christy Nome and Stephen Miller for defamation. I'm waiting for that. They hired an attorney because all that talking about he was a terrorist, that's all nonsense. So let's see what happens with that.
Lauren, let people know where they can find you, where they can get a free Don Lemon shirt.
They can get a free Don Lemon shirt at Black Virginia News' shop. If you go to Black Virginia News, which comes right up on your Google, if you put in Google Black Virginia News, it's right there. But there's a merch store. You go and it says merch, and then boom, the Don Lemon shirt is right, and the free Georgia Fort shirt is right there.
Good, wonderful. Lauren, we thank you. We'll be seeing you again. Thank you for joining me today on the show.
A lot. Thank you.
Appreciate her analysis as well, y'all. Very, very important. All right, folks. That is it for today's edition of MIP on 89.3. Glad you all could join us. We'll do it again next Monday. If all hearts and minds are clear, it has been made plain.